guys. Welcome.
Hi.
We are Dana and Amy from the Running Drink podcast at runnydrink.net.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be letting everybody kind of come into the room here for a second as we get settled in ourselves. So, all right, let me see here. I'm going to make some camera adjustments while I can.
Are you?
Yeah, I have a little bit of creative freedom here to do that. So let's
closer still.
There we go. Boom.
What? No, are you kidding?
Yeah, you can actually see like your, other shoulder.
Okay.
So.
All right, fine.
Yeah. All right. So we have beverages. We have seating arrangements. Let me adjust camera.
I hope we have people join us.
Well, that would be ideal. We have two who've jumped in. Hello, hello.
Yay. Say hello.
Say hello. Tell us who you are, what you're doing. Oh, it's Rhonda.
We're loving it. I'm so glad she's here.
I'm glad you could jump in for a little bit.
So glad.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
So it's nice to actually be doing this from the newly completed studio.
Indeed.
And,
you got to do something with that light.
Well, here's the thing. I could turn that light on.
And it's Jen's ears. And Dawn is here.
Yes. Hello, Dawn.
Yay.
I can turn that sign on. The problem is it's so bright.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
I need to see if the dimmer switch will work.
Yeah.
And then try it.
We got to figure it out.
And then, the ears, like what we have to do is also figure out better ways to connect stuff to our microphones here.
Yeah.
And I think we can get like a microphone flag, like right here.
Fun with
to
flags.
Be able to do it. Not that kind of flag, different flag, but yes, it would be fun with, it would be fun with flags.
Fine.
Yes.
Fine.
So,
fine.
and then we're slowly going to be replacing some stuff in the cubes behind us. We have some pop culture stuff, some Marvel stuff, some Star Wars stuff, but we have a ton of running books and other things that we want to display as well.
It's true. Like there's Marco
Chisetto and Meb
and
Jeff Galloway.
Yeah. And I have others. And Rhonda Lee, we love doing these chats too.
Yeah, this was something that was born out of just wanting to connect and give people a way to connect because of COVID. And I know you're not supposed to say that, but
what I mean.
We're not diagnosing anything. It just, everybody was like, we're locked down. You can't be social. You're trying to figure out ways to do that. And we're like, well, we don't have a lot to offer, but we could offer our couch and some time and just hang out and BS with everybody.
We started to do them out on the back porch before. Do you remember that?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we might still end up back out there. It's funny. We see stuff pop up in our timeline still. And we actually had one where we were grabbing some food from local places here in Cape Coral because we were trying to help keep some of these places afloat. And that was really tough, worrying that like favorite places were going to be able to weather the storm. And it's hard enough. And Florida's kind of a funny state, we're, oh, it's so bad down here because of the weather and all that. But we are a tourist economy. And when tourism goes away, the economy really, really suffers. So you had a lot of businesses that were shuttering as a result of that.
Yes.
Oh, and Darlene is here. Hi, Darlene. Josh, yay. Thank you. This is I'm still kind of working in progress. I'm going to hang more medals. That's coming. We're going to figure out what goes in these cubes. I'll do a tour this week and kind of show everybody what the whole thing looks like. But basically, these cubes, we have these for display, and then we have some also for functional storage as well. And, that's the stuff that's kind of off camera, but we actually have a use for. And I'll kind of show everybody what's up with that.
Oh.
And Sebastian's here. Hey, man, welcome.
Here.
Oh, well, I mean, we love their live stream, and we may talk some Marvel stuff here, but we're probably not going to go quite down that rabbit hole.
Marvel race
we have a
medals?
touch of Marvel. We have some Marvel
we
here.
Have Marvel race
some
medals.
stuff,
And we have the Avengers Funko Pops because and it's
Jennifer
fun size Jen,
Hall.
yay! And
Awesome.
Darlene and James J. Williams is here too.
And Dan is here
Dan
from
from the
Cape Coral
Cape Coral
Running
Running
Group.
Group.
And I saw
Yes.
Dan posted he's doing the same 1 mile downtown dash that we're going to do in Fort Myers.
Not this weekend because that's the Will Run for, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I just show up where you
yeah.
tell me to show up.
It's next weekend and it's in the evening.
I can't.
Right, Dan?
Yeah, Dan, let us
yeah.
know when that is, because
It is. I think I'm right. I think I'm right.
And Sebastian's asking, is that backlighting behind the cubes? Yes. We backlit the cubes. I'm going to dial in the lighting in here a little bit better, because what I have learned is that once we decided to do a big wall mounted TV in here instead of a computer monitor, we don't need nearly as much light as we used to need, which is really nice. But as a result of that, getting the lighting to look just right is a little bit more difficult. So we're working on it. It slowly but surely we'll get that dialed in. Fortunately, we're really more geared towards the audio than we are the video, and we just do this to hang out and talk to you guys.
I mean, we're not like Steven Spielberg.
Oh, there's I'm the furthest point in the universe away from Steven Spielberg. That's me, James. Howdy.
You?
While we're talking, I'm going to go ahead and get to pouring.
Do it.
Talk to everybody. If you're coming over from the other chat, this will look familiar. If not, we'll explain to you what's going on. This is a Coca-Cola with coffee.
Yes.
And we had these on the show
about coffee.
Yeah, we had these on the show maybe a month and a half ago or so, something like that. Yeah. And we were able to find 2 out of the 3 flavors here locally, but we could not find the caramel flavored one.
Yes,
and
that's
Amy
true.
mentioned that.
Yes.
And then I went to the post office box today. Yeah. And we had a box in the mail.
We did. And it's from our patron, Cheryl's Shenanigans, or Cheryl in a prairie dress
is now an ultra runner or something like that.
That's her username.
It's a very long username.
Patreon. So yeah. So there you go. So she mailed us these because we had the dark coffee Coke, we had the vanilla Coke coffee, and now the triangle is complete. The circle is complete. The whatever is I don't know.
She collected them all, we've collected them all now, thanks to her.
Yeah, Dan, we asked what time the downtown dash was.
And Dan is saying Friday, April 16th. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do that. That's going to be a blast. It's basically a 1 mile run or walk. It's in the middle of downtown Fort Myers. We are looking for a couple of spots in downtown to feature on the show that week in downtown Fort Myers. And a couple of places are jumping out that we're looking at. We're looking at a new place that's opened up right on the water called Oxbow. We're also looking at 1025, which has been in downtown Fort Myers on the Patio de Leon for a while. Yes. We're looking at a couple of other spots as well, but we're trying to do some research and figure out what we're going to do. But anyway, this is actual Coca-Cola. It's actual coffee. Yeah. And then they've also included caramel flavoring. So yes, you are correct, Jennifer. This is...
what did she say?
She says caramel, Coke, and coffee. Yes,
I mean,
all
do you like caramel? Because there are people... Cheers. And happy National Beer Day, which we'll get to here. We'll get to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it.
I think the best Coke and coffee combo was the dark coffee Coke. And then this, because it's very subtle, the vanilla Coke with coffee tasted most artificial. So
agree completely.
That's my 2 cents. But, we wouldn't know unless Cheryl sent us this batch.
Yes, we couldn't find it
Because
anywhere
it was
here.
nowhere.
We looked in a number of places. This is basically sold kind of alongside the energy drinks.
Mhm.
It's canned. This is not a standard size soda can. Clearly, this is like the tall,
Mm.
skinny ones here.
Yeah, looks like an energy drink type can.
The packaging is very nice. I mean, they do a really nice job on the marketing stuff here. I mean, geez, it's Coca-Cola. Imagine that they know how to market stuff. But the flavor wise is actually really good. And when I was a barista, we would get requests all the time for shots of espresso in Coca-Cola.
It's interesting
Yeah.
that you say that because I never would have thought that.
It's kind of an oddball thing for me, but once I tried it, I'm like, yeah, this actually kind of works.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Jennifer, I think that the race is going to be a good time. It's a 1 miler right in the middle of downtown. The revitalized area of downtown Fort
Like a
Myers
city
is beautiful.
nightlife.
They've done an amazing job there. Danny, you can hear her. She
She's
agrees
barking.
with us.
Yeah.
She thinks it sounds great. And Dan's suggesting contact the Luminary Hotel. It's funny you'd say that. We are looking
We're
at them
thinking
as
about
well.
it.
We just did a function over there at the Luminary a couple of weeks ago where Amy became a certified coffee connoisseur.
Yes, but didn't you also, because you took the same class, even though you don't? Oh, you're already one. Okay.
Not to
Got
brag,
it.
but no.
Okay.
She basically the class that we
Fine.
took was basically a crash course in like what I learned in a 2-week coffee college. He covered in like a day. With just a whole lot less
Yeah, but
repetition.
you had to, as a barista, have it drilled into you.
Oh, for that
so-
company, yeah. At that time, I don't think they do it
Yeah.
anymore. I used to work back in the '90s. I worked for Caribou Coffee when it was a small
You have to
family
know your
owned
stuff.
private company
To
before they
know
went
your
public.
stuff.
And well, thank you, Josh. I like showing off my cans.
This.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, Dan, they do have a great rooftop bar and restaurant over there. We are super interested in doing a big feature on them. That is the Luminary Hotel. So it's a great place if you're looking to come to Southwest Florida. They're not a sponsor of the show. It's actually gotten to a point where they have become a destination for locals here in the area as well.
I would like to be there. And now I'm nervous because Jennifer Hall has said that I pronounced it right.
Pronounce what right?
Caramel. Now I can't remember how I did it. And now I'm going to screw it up again. Caramel.
And Sebastian's a fan of vanilla Coke. Okay, if you like vanilla Coke, I think you'll like this. This has that same kind of vibe, although the vanilla version of this is more pronounced. It's more vanilla in your face, and the coffee takes a back seat. This is kind of the same thing. The coffee takes a back seat. It's a little more of caramel. I'm gonna call it caramel. That's what I say.
Sorry.
Caramel forward, but yeah, caffeinated caramel. Yes, that's essentially what you're talking here, Josh. That's a perfect way to sum it up. And Sebastian says root beer is his favorite beer. Yeah, I like a good root beer
right now.
They were talking about that in the last chat over on Instagram about a cocktail out in Arizona. That was
Helena.
Helena was talking about a root beer bourbon thing. I'm like,
my
sign me up. Sign me up.
I would love that.
Doggo approved.
Yes.
Yeah, she likes to chime in. She chimes in on the show more often than I care for her to.
Like
but
right in the middle of the recording.
She'll be dead silent all day long. All day long. Boom.
Right in the middle of it. There we go.
And then yeah, it was the pronunciation of caramel. So how many cups of knowledge are required to become an aficionado?
Of coffee.
What was cool about that class that we did, that Amy signed up for was signed us up for was, the gentleman who taught the class. He owns Rebel Roasters here in Cape Coral, and we go over to the Luminary Hotel in downtown Fort Myers. They have this kick-ass demo kitchen
It looks beautiful.
that is a permanent fixture there. Like it's a demo kitchen
Oh,
with stadium seating
let me-
and permanent like 60-inch TVs set up so that you can, if they're wanting to do like PowerPoint presentations, so
yeah.
you can see. It's crazy.
I feel like they should do a Run Eat Drink podcast beer pairing dinner. And Stephanie Swan should be in charge of orchestrating
The
the
flags.
flags. That's what I think. And she may not be in this chat right now, but what I'm saying is that
If you're from coming over from the chat last go around, you'll know
she
what we're
wants
talking
us
about.
to
She wants to do
have
international
she-
beers with
yeah.
little flags.
and she wants us to have flags up from the respective countries as we try the beer.
I'm okay with that.
And I would love that.
Yeah.
But I think she should orchestrate an international Run Eat Drink podcast beer pairing at the Luminary in that beautiful space. Would be awesome.
Ooh, and Dan's doing a run over on, and Stephanie is in the chat. She says she'd love to.
Look.
But the Cape Coral Running Group is doing a run Sunday morning, 7:30 at Cape Royal Golf Course. I will see if I can make it there, Dan. That would be a lot of fun. I need to get a 5K in, so that would be good.
Yeah.
Josh is hashtag Peanut Gallery. Josh is the co-executive producer of hashtags. So unofficially, but yeah,
Yes.
he's the guy I got to go to for hashtags.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And see, there she is. She could be the
Fun.
executive producer of our
Of flags.
of the flags of the pairing at the Luminary.
Okay.
Yes.
I said this on the last chat. This Coke would be great for doing a Coke flip.
Yes.
I would like that.
Yes.
Would I drink this as my normal go-to Coca-Cola? No.
I know you wouldn't.
I don't like a lot of fancy flavoring with my Coca-Cola. I want my Coke to taste like Coke generally, but yeah, put this with a nice, like I mentioned in the last one, like a nice vanilla bean ice cream or something. Yeah, this would be
bourbon.
Okay, you're adulting it up. I'm
Oh,
I'm trying to capture the innocence of childhood.
okay.
I just didn't think of it. Yeah. I would totally
was
do
just
that.
inspired by Helena's drink.
Oh
shot.
yeah, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
So that's all I'm saying to you.
Astronaut Firkin, hi from space. Well, hello.
I have no idea. Somebody
Live long
ahead and prosper.
and prosper.
Can I do that?
I don't know, can you?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
She's showing. Oh, I was showing off my Marvel ring, and then
Oh.
Amy's got her
I
Marvel.
can't.
We actually got
Oh. Hang on.
we actually got Marvel themed wedding bands here. She's got the Black Widow one. I've got a Captain America one that's actually a scene from the comics.
Mm-hmm. So, I can create the international menu lineup and the display.
Good plan.
She is like the event planner. She could be the event planner for the Run Eat Drink podcast.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, let's get down to the beer because this is in fact a beer chat. And this is one we have had a beer from this company on one other time.
IPA.
That was, we were doing International IPA Day. And Amy went through one of our local package stores and got a very broad selection of IPAs. And we got kind of the gamut that whole time from citrusy, juicy IPAs that were a little more approachable for people maybe going or new to IPAs or a little intimidated by them because they can be very aggressive in their flavor.
Oh, yes.
All the way up to some very aggressive West Coast style IPAs that basically taste like, chewing on the pine tree air freshener in your car. So you kind of can read between the lines and figure out where I land on that. This is a beer from a company called Ravenous Pig Brewing Company.
Well,
and this is Foxtail Coffee Blonde Ale.
Yes.
And Amy's going to read the description if she can pull it up on her iPad there.
I just don't think it's going to be that. It's Foxtail Coffee Blonde from Ravenous Pig Brewing Company, which is in Orlando, which is related to the um, Polite Pig at Disney Springs, I believe, in
Mm-hmm.
some capacity. However, I digress. It is a gold ale infused with lightly roasted Mexican coffee.
Very nice. Okay.
Yes. 13 IBU. So
So
13 on
not very
the
bitter.
bitterness, you know. Um, and 4.8 ABV, so sessionable.
Yeah,
And
sessionable beers are usually those that are under 5% ABV. That way you could have more than one in a sitting without it putting you on your butt.
yeah, and it's like a coffee blonde. And so I was looking at the Ravenous Pigs brunch menu.
The LaCroix effect.
What
Josh,
is what is the LaCroix
I don't
effect?
know what that's all about. What's the LaCroix effect?
LaCroix is like
I'm not sure.
is like sparkling water, yeah.
Well, it's like sparkling water that's had a picture of a fruit waved next to it that kind of might sort of taste like it. Um,
Uh, tell us what European beers we should try.
yeah, don't impale a flag on your face when you try to drink. Yeah, we're not going to use the flags as garnishes for the
No, I
beverages.
think like we'll have like a mount or some place to put them on the set.
Oh, good question. Are we familiar with any European beer? Honestly, not too much.
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
A couple of offerings from Germany,
Mm-hmm.
um, more like European styles of beer than brands, and that
Right.
just depends on what's available.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. is kind of an interesting animal when it comes to distribution. So you can, in some places, you can find more offerings than others. It just depends on what the state laws are.
And what I want to know is what European beers we should try, and I'm all ears for that.
I
I
am
mean,
too, actually.
I just
All right. Well, the can is a 16 ouncer.
yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that we probably could squeeze all the liquid in there. But look at this. This is actually, a
Golden.
golden, very effervescent beer that is mostly clear, very little cloud to that. Cheers.
DHL dry hop lagers or no? I don't know what DHL is.
Okay.
Okay.
Now this gives me kind of like an instant coffee bean, like roasted coffee bean flavor. Not like brewed coffee, but like you get almost the aroma of fresh roasted coffee in your nose as you swallow.
Yes. There it is. Mm-hmm. But it's not on the nose.
No, it
I
doesn't
don't get
smell like much of anything.
no. Mm-mm.
So this is different. Now this
Heavily
is
carbonated.
very yes. This is I would say it would be a good poolside beer,
Yeah, which is different for a coffee beer.
or a term that we learned today doing some research, a patio pounder. Is that what
Yeah.
yeah, like what is that? Oh, it's what beers you pound or drinks you pound while you're sitting out on your patio. Who knew?
Uh,
We call these poolside beers down here in Florida.
yes, we do. It's poolside beers. Thanks so much.
And Stephanie, like yeah,
Yeah,
actually
it's
they did
interesting. And
they
it's a similar logo design to the IPA that we tried. That whole looks like I don't know, it almost looks spacey, you know?
now, given that their claim to fame up in the Orlando area is barbecue,
Oh, listen.
would you pair this or would you look to this as something for having with a barbecue lunch plate or dinner
You
plate?
could. You it would not be it's not sweet. It's not overly hoppy. It's got it's got a medium body. It's not a lighter body, not like a poolside kind of beer
Like a Kolsch
body. Like,
or
yeah. I so You could pair it with some barbecue, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, I would agree.
for sure. And I mean, like, I'm just looking at their brunch, but we could go to their dinner that because the Ravenous Pig is actually a restaurant in Orlando.
It is.
So, Rob Nadow, welcome.
Rob is here coming from Sumter, Oregon, 55 degrees and cloudy. He had some great photos online today. Looked like some rolling hills and farmland with some mountains in the
I
distance.
couldn't run that.
Oh, gorgeous. Rob is like our executive producer of awesome running photography because
Yes.
he's one of our patrons of the show
Like-
as well.
Like, we should have green screen behind us and we should just run a slideshow of all of his pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Like, they are just, it is traveling when you cannot travel. He just transports you with his pictures right there. Yeah. It's awesome. Awesome.
Sebastian says he's having desire to find some liquor and join y'all. Well, you know,
Yeah.
whatever floats your boat, whether it's an adult beverage or a not so adult beverage, we don't
Yeah,
care.
we don't care.
And you know,
I actually posted in Runcation Nation about the it wasn't LaCroix, but it was, I think it was San Pellegrino coffee flavored sparkling water.
yeah. I'm interested in that. I would give that a shot. I knew Josh was going to like that. The patio pounder.
I know.
Yeah.
But he also likes Rob's photos.
Oh
so
yeah. Well, I mean,
who wouldn't?
come on.
I mean, come on.
Rob just needs to start selling those as postcards.
Yes. Do you know that at the Ravenous Pig, there's a tapas board that is charred octopus, red quinoa salad, chickpea hummus, lamb ragu, house pita, warm red wine, marinated olives.
Oh, Stephanie's already making a list of European beers. Okay.
She is like she's like an executive producer.
I tell you what, Stephanie, thank you. Because
Yeah.
honestly, we're open to all sorts of stuff, and we really do go off of a lot of recommendations. So yeah, you send us the list, and Amy will go hit the store.
Research.
And you know, we are definitely up for learning. Like I said, European styles of beer are things that we very much enjoy. I'm a big fan of Belgians. I
love Pilsners.
Czech Pilsners.
Mhm.
In fact, with the beer that we featured on the Instagram chat, that was from Scotty's Beer Works,
Mhm.
which is here in Cape Coral,
Yep.
right on the border of Cape Coral and North Fort Myers. They also have a Czech Pilsner on tap,
Oh, they do. Yeah.
which is really, really good. Very light body, a little bit of
Yeah.
hoppiness on the end.
The hoppiness on the end makes me prefer like the breakfast blonde that we had,
Right.
or the Irish red.
Now, okay, this I think the breakfast blonde kind of prompted you to pick this one up this week.
Because if there's anybody that's listening from Scotty's Beer Works,
Either live or in replay.
I don't care.
Either way.
I want you to mass produce the coffee blonde that you put out for your anniversary. Please do it.
Yeah, normally
Please do it. Just do it.
Yeah, normally
Okay.
when you see coffee and beer, you see it in
Dark
things
beer.
like porters and stouts. You do see them every now and then in blonde ales. I think it's a unique thing to do. It's kind of, visually you're expecting one thing and then your taste buds give you something totally different, which I think is kind of cool. And I think that it is a neat way to kind of showcase those flavors, and it's very pleasing, especially if you're looking for a lighter bodied beer to have with a meal. A lot of people don't want to do porters and stouts with food.
That's true because
So,
they're heavier.
Yeah, they can be a good bit heavier.
I was just looking at their menu, and do you know that
Amy's lost in the
The
polite pig
I'm sorry, the ravenous
or the ravenous pig.
The ravenous pig has mushroom and Gruyere beignets.
Oh, savory beignets.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's even allowed. I've never in my life heard of savory
People.
beignets. Savory beignets?
Really? Come on. There's
The-
octopus on this menu. We have to go
Well,
because you like octopus.
I do like grilled octopus.
So
I know. Do we have adventurous eaters out here in the group? Are you guys,
Octopus,
would you consider
oysters.
yourselves adventurous eaters? Are you willing to try things like octopus? Would you try something like a savory beignet? I mean, I mean, the octopus does freak a lot of people out.
And do you understand that there's also beef tartare and bone marrow?
Well, okay, the beef tartare, I am definitely down for. That
They're
reminds
together in
me.
the same dish, dude.
All right, dude. All
And
right.
but do you understand that under vegetables there's barbecued cauliflower?
Well, that is technically a vegetable. I guess if you cover it in sauce and put it on a grill
Okay.
or in a barbecue.
Okay.
Oh, and Stephanie will try anything that isn't pork related. Okay, well, there's look. Okay, this might actually, we might start a fight.
Oh no.
We might start a fight
No
here.
fighting. Oh god.
Um,
Let's not fight. Let's look at brunch.
when you're
items.
doing barbecue, pork, beef, or chicken, what do you do? What is your go-to? What's your go-to?
Oh, barbecue. What is your go-to?
Hold on, I'm gonna
All
let
right.
that
Oh,
let it
oh.
marinate for a second. Darlene said she'll
Oh.
try anything once.
Now you've made a Letter Kenny reference.
Oh, Rob's got some Costa Rican roast. Rob, you are a man after my own heart.
Nice.
Costa Rican terrazzo, Costa Rican peaberry. Those are two of my absolute favorite coffees. Our
Mm.
friends at Narrative Roasters did a Costa Rican
Yes.
varietal that was
I think we got it like
phenomenal.
on multiple occasions. It was so good.
Oh, and let's see. It depends on what kind of taste you like. There's a huge variety.
Oh.
Check.
Recommendations for European beers.
Uh,
Here we go.
Pilsner Urquell. Okay.
I've seen this in our local
Yes.
package store. So
And let us know if there's any in particular you would recommend.
yeah.
We will grab some of these out of the chat later on because
Kolsch,
we
yes.
are huge fans. Like I said,
Mhm.
we're all for trying new stuff.
Yeah.
And Josh is an adventurous eater too. I mean, yeah, I think you got to try new stuff.
Like octopus.
Well, okay, like Rhonda's like octopus, no, savory beignets, yes. Again, for people, most people eat with their eyes first. If you
It's true.
can't get past the look of octopus, I can totally
totally
understand
I get
why
it.
you'd be like, yeah, I'm not going for that. And I get it.
Yeah.
I started with octopus back in college when I was really like trying and getting into eating sushi for the first time. Rhonda Lee's had barbecued cauliflower before. I've never had it.
We've had buffalo cauliflower,
Buffalo
but
style
not barbecue
cauliflower, yeah.
cauliflower, and I would like to try that.
And actually, our friends over at Big Storm Brewing do a really good buffalo cauliflower.
That's true.
I got to give them props there. Their buffalo cauliflower is crazy.
Do you know? Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, I like Delirium a lot. Duvel,
Delirium,
Chimay,
nice.
yeah, those I'm definitely
Chimay.
fans of those.
Yeah, we'll have to. Oh, you'll try stuff. Yeah,
Rob says he'll try stuff.
Yeah. So listen, the Ravenous Pig has shrimp and grits.
Oh yeah, that's a very southern thing. I go back to my southern roots. Shrimp and grits.
Shrimp tomato broth, and a coddled egg. And there's a picture that you would love right there.
Oh yeah, I would eat that in a heartbeat.
So
okay, Stephanie goes with shredded chicken. She's allergic to pork, so I totally get that.
Got it.
I think personally, if I'm doing barbecue, and that's not to be confused with grilling, I tend to go towards beef or pork.
I like bird ends. I like brisket.
Yeah.
So very much.
Brisket's my favorite period.
Yeah. Oh. I and like brisket. I like the burnt ends. I also like the moist slices of brisket. I know that's a controversial word. I order all of my cheeseburgers plain. Oh, Sebastian
on a cruise ship will try anything. Okay. I understand that.
On a cruise, I'll try anything. Well, no.
And okay, smoked eel.
I don't think I've ever. Well, I
I've
mean,
had
it's sushi,
eel.
and it's sushi, but I don't think smoked.
I've never had it smoked. That sounds good. I like smoked oysters if I'm doing smoked seafood and smoked fish. I'm a big
I think
smoked fish fan.
you like the char grilled oysters at Ukulele, and we actually, I threw up a video of some of the best places we've had beer since it's National Beer Day.
Okay, how do we? Okay, Rhonda is dropping a knowledge bomb for Disney here.
Mhm.
Apparently, this barbecued cauliflower is at Disney.
Well, okay,
How do we miss this?
in Disney Springs, there's Polite Pig,
Which we've been to.
and that is connected to the Ravenous Pig,
Yes,
which
we
is off
established that,
property.
but we didn't get the barbecued cauliflower.
No, because we were too busy getting like a brisket.
Oh, that's true.
So, and bourbon because we were at that place when it was not the Bourbon Trail, because you can't say that because it's trademarked. You have to say the Bourbon Experience.
Yeah, so we go. Disney was doing this whole thing where they were going to do the Bourbon Trail at Disney Springs, and we get up there, and they are actively going in and ripping down
any kind of
as quickly as they can
display or handout,
everything
anything
that had the Bourbon Trail on it.
Mhm.
And it was hilarious because we got to talking to one of the people that worked there, one of the cast members. I want to say it was the cast members at the Ganachery, because they were doing a tasting of Woodford Reserve bourbon and some of their chocolate,
which was
and stuff,
delightful,
which
by
was
the way.
killer. And they said, yeah, apparently Disney got hit with a cease and desist from the state of Kentucky. And I'm like, what in the world would it take to have Disney's stable of lawyers go, yeah, you need to knock that crap off and do what they said?
The state of Kentucky.
Yeah, apparently an entire state
guess.
is what it is. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that.
Do you understand that the Ravenous Pig has a lobster frittata
I
that
don't.
has lobster and Boursin cheese?
I'm a fan of that. Okay, now Rob is saying he's had calamari, which is squid. Oh,
Love calamari.
there is a place. It's so funny. Calamari down here. If you go to the store here locally, you can actually buy calamari as bait pretty regularly anywhere you're going to go, because it's a very popular
Interesting.
bait
I haven't been
fish to use.
Well, I haven't been fishing in like since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there we love eating it, and there's a lot of ways for preparation that we like it, but there is a local place here. We have talked about them, I think, on the show once before, and it's this tiny hole in the wall pizzeria
Oh,
that's
that's true. Yes.
off the beaten path.
Mhm.
They take the extra time to soak their calamari in buttermilk. Sounds weird, but stay with me.
I think it makes it
The
tender.
buttermilk has enzymes that start to break down the meat, and you end up getting this
tenderize it.
super tender
Yeah.
squid
Yeah.
that is insanely good. And they do a light flour coating and then flash fry it, and it's ridiculous. It's way better than it deserves to be at this tiny pizzeria that,
I mean, it deserves to be.
well, you wouldn't think that this place, like, you go there and you're going to get the a way better calamari than if you go to some of the big name chain corporate Italian places that might do a fried calamari.
Okay.
All
right.
You just wouldn't expect it to be that good.
Okay.
And it really is.
Well, I mean, but a Western barbecue has sauce mixed in. And when I was in Alabama, Tennessee, they didn't like the sauce mixed in at all.
Mixed in where?
So,
Hold on.
Well,
what are we
hold
talking
on.
here?
Yeah, like out west, they'll like put the sauce on, and then
Oh, you mean mixed into like the pulled meat?
I think that's what
Is that what you're talking about, Rob? Because yeah, I'm right there with you. I prefer my sauce on the side, and I can apply just enough that I want.
The sauce, and then you just
yeah,
like I need control of the sauce,
because I like going. I love like a vinegar base, and I love a mustard base. Those are two of my favorites. But sometimes if you're doing ribs, the Kansas City,
like a smokier sauce,
yeah, this can be really good.
So
and yeah, Rob's talking about mixed in with the meat. Yeah. And then Alabama does its own thing, which is totally like they're just basically thumbing their nose at the rest of the barbecue world, and
They do what they
they
want.
do their white sauce, which is
They do what they
basically
want.
mayonnaise and spices and other stuff, which is phenomenal,
Mm.
but totally different than what most people are used to when you hear barbecue sauce. And yeah, Josh, I'm right there with you, man. Rubbery squid. We were talking about this with shellfish because on this week's episode, we are back at a food truck that we haven't been to for a year. And um, they do lobster rolls and they do other shellfish on the food truck. And it's one of those that
So true.
on food trucks, there are certain foods that you either have to be really good and know you're good and do it and execute it perfectly every time, or you just don't do it. And pork is one of those because pork is, especially pork loin, goes from delicious to a dry, crumbly mess in no time at all.
Mm.
And then shellfish is the other thing. And it goes from tender and wonderful to basically a pencil eraser. And especially you get that with shrimp, scallops, and squid. And I
Mm.
can't stand that. So, but that's again growing up in Florida, being a huge seafood fan. I'm very particular about seafood.
It has to be done perfectly because it can be so. Oh, if it's overcooked, then it's just not any kind of. I'm a big shellfish fan, and that is. It's so easy to just have, like snow crab. If you
Oh,
take it over the
I
edge, it's
hate it when they
just.
go too long on crab.
Mm,
Yeah, it's a crime against pretty expensive meats too.
mm,
When you're going out to a restaurant and you're going to do it, you just expect them to get it right, especially if it's a seafood place. And we've been
mm-hmm.
to a couple of places that are very popular here locally with a lot of the retiree crowd because they're consistent, but they're consistently not awesome.
I just you
They've
have to
never been on the
find
show. Um,
you have to find what works. I mean, everybody's palate's different.
Everybody's palate is
And
different.
what you've grown
Yes.
up with, I think, influences what you love.
Oh, of course.
So,
But I'm saying there's a difference between a properly cooked shrimp or squid
oh
or
yeah,
scallop
of course,
and one that's cooked to death.
yes, naturally.
Yeah, rubbery squid does last a long time. Yes. So I mean, for your time spent with the food, you're going to get your money's worth there. That is
Mm.
true.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay, Josh is saying he tried the number one rated barbecue place in Alabama. And we've done that same thing. We've gone to places that have these great ratings and reviews, and we've gone and we're like,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know that I would even feature this one on the show. That's
Right.
happened.
Yeah.
And if you use, travel sites and review sites, you're like,
Or you check out reviews on social media and that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, I think you have to, you take that, that's part of your research, but it can't be all of your research.
no.
And you have to, like when you travel, you have to listen to locals where you can, like people that we've met at races that are locals, like, or people in podcast groups or running groups that we listen to on social media that
Right.
have been that are locals in the towns where we travel to runcations.
And we've had great luck with that.
Yeah.
We really have.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks, if we're making it back up your way, Josh, we're gonna hit you up for recommendations. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
because we're gonna hit James for recommendations.
Yep.
We've been lucky, when we went to Huntsville, we found some places that we would go and could easily recommend. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Like in Kentucky, we had such an awesome time because we listened to a local.
yes. Yeah, and actually we were absolutely blown away every place we were referred there.
Every single
She
place
did a
that
really,
she
really
it's
good job.
so I think you just yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Josh is saying driving 2 hours to be disappointed, not fun. Yeah,
Not
see
fun.
that?
Yeah.
Right there with you. We've done that.
I know. And then you can't have those calories back.
Well, there's that. I just we
or that
like I said,
money.
yeah, for me it's like, oh, we just paid for that on for the business, and we don't have anything to show for it. That's the other thing, because we don't do any negative reviews on the show.
No.
So it's like,
Mm-mm.
okay, we're gonna eat that one. And so now we've gotten smarter. We don't do, for a place that's totally new for us, we don't order separate entrees. We'll like get something and split it and go, okay, this was good. Let's now proceed on and get something else.
Mhm.
Because otherwise we have been burned too many times going to places that are new. But
There
I
is
mean,
a
that's part of the fun too, is the exploration.
hmm yeah, and you have to. So it's I'm sure, especially now that it is very competitive when you want to survive after uh, closures and reopening of different states and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So,
And what Sebastian's talking about here too, with people, the bribery and politics. There are a lot of the super reviewers that are out there on social media sites that they basically try to hold, some of them, not all of them, some of them are unscrupulous. They'll hold restaurants kind of hostage and want like free meals and comps and all that for a good review. Guys, if we buy our meals, I mean,
yeah.
every now and then a restaurant like might comp us something, but that's usually after the fact, and
Hmm.
we're there,
Yeah.
paying money. And one of the biggest sections on our tax return for the show is actually, like, food we buy to review
Hmm.
is a separate category for us. And we
Yep.
pay for everything. Every very rarely, and we always try to tell you guys if anybody like comped us a meal or whatever. But that on the off chance that were to happen, that wouldn't influence our reviews at all. If it's not good, we just won't cover it on the show.
That's true.
But I know, before he died, Anthony Bourdain was talking about Yelp reviewers.
Oh,
Oh, you ought to Google that and listen to
really?
him ranting.
No.
It's not safe for work, but it's very entertaining. Yeah,
I want to watch that after we finish.
he had a very low opinion of Yelp reviewers.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and interesting to see.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Well,
Pewaukee, Wisconsin beer cheese soup.
listen, there is beer cheese in the Huntsville, Alabama
We did get
area.
some good beer cheese in Huntsville, Alabama. Oh,
I'm telling you, Green Bus Brewing
Green
knows
Green Bus and
where it's at.
Interspace was great as
Mm-hmm.
well. They did a
Yeah.
really good job. They were making their beer cheese with their own beer in house, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Oh,
Josh
so
is like,
good.
Yelp is a train wreck. Yeah,
I think
it's at we
you
do reference it. We look at it, but that
well,
is a
that gives you
starting point for
yeah,
us.
that gives you a list of here's what's around, and then you can do additional research. But anything that is a singular point of reference, that you can't take 100%.
No,
You have to do
no.
your own research. You have to talk to people.
And
You
that's been the best thing. We'll get to talking to people
yeah.
after a race, and we'll say, "Hey, where you staying? Are you from here?" And people will go, "Oh yeah, I'm from here." And we'll ask. We
Hmm.
always ask, "Hey, what's the you know, where should we go? Where's the place for the regulars?" And we get so many great recommendations from people
Hmm.
who live in different areas. And see, Darlene, I knew I liked you. She's all about the cheddar ale soup. Oh, come
She makes it.
on.
She makes it.
If you were to, kick us a recipe or something.
Well, can't we go visit her eventually?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, that's assuming she wants us there.
Well, that's true. I don't want to
We're not inviting
invite
ourselves to your place or
myself.
anything, Darlene. But yeah, and then Josh is like, yeah, when you give everyday Joes the power to sway a restaurant, it's not fun. And that's it's interesting. The internet is a double-edged sword. It
Yeah.
it democratizes so much. It puts a lot of power in people's
Hmm.
fingertips.
Hmm.
But the yeah, not every review is fair. you know, and like we are very, very,
Context is important
it is, and we're very purposeful. We won't go to a new restaurant for like 90 days
if we can help it.
if we can avoid it, you know, and because we understand, both having been servers in the past, we get it. New restaurants opening. What are you doing in the first 90 days? You're getting your workflow down. You're training your personnel. You're getting, you know, the people that you hire and get everybody in. 30% of those people fall away within the first 90 days usually. And it's sometimes really unfair to get new restaurants like that. Um, yeah, it's tough. So we try not to do that to people. And we belong to a lot of the foodie groups on social media as well. And I look and I see some people will jump in and do the negative review on a place, and they're like, I've gone here plenty of times before, but I'm like, yeah, but have you done a review on this place on the other 8 times you were there and they were awesome?
Mm,
You know,
it's
so we try to be really, really fair about that.
yeah. I just yeah. It's yeah. It's
What is
hard.
this on
It's
Reddit?
hard. I
Choosing
don't know.
beggars is a Yelp review graveyard. Oh, I bet that's some good reading.
Oh
There's some interesting stuff on Reddit.
yeah. Seriously.
Make anything you want. Hey,
Darlene is so sweet.
aw.
Well, I
Hey,
mean,
cheddar ale soup. Sign me
listen,
up.
she's I mean, her Instagram handle has gourmet in the title. So,
Yes.
you know, but if you send us a recipe, just to be clear, if you send us a recipe, I'll just make Dana have it and cook it
Should make me cook it, which is fine.
and make it. So,
Uh, oh, we have a food poisoning story.
mm,
We were out in we were running a race. We actually traveled all the way to California to run a
oh,
race.
no, it's beforehand. Let's start at the beginning of the trip,
We got food poisoned in California.
right before the race.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we
Go ahead.
travel to California. We've just arrived. It's our first time in Anaheim, California. It's our first Disney race that we're going to run. We're running not Princess, I'm sorry, Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
And we didn't really know our way around, and we decided, okay, this is going to be one of those meals where we're jet lagged. We want to get into the hotel, get settled, get something safe to eat before the race, and then we'll do like the exploration for food and everything, you know, the next day after the race.
Well, this is before the show, too.
Yeah. But we still would do all that. So we decide, okay, we're going to go to a local corporate chain Chinese restaurant and get a simple um dish, you know, some
Like
simple dishes that have, you
chicken,
know, chicken
rice.
and rice or beef and rice, that type of thing, and go really easy, right? So we do that. We go to bed. We wake up in the morning and we're getting ready for the race in the morning, and it's like 5 in the morning, or 4 in the morning out there. Amy's like,
We're in the start corral. We make it there.
well, in the hotel room, Amy's like, I feel kind of nervous, or my stomach's upset. I'm nauseous, and I'm like, oh, it's nerves. It's pre-race nerves. You're fine. She powers through the race, powers through, and I mean, like a boss. Okay,
And nothing happened during the race.
no.
I just I think that my system just everything went to completing the race.
So she knocks out the race. We get
Mhm.
back to the hotel, go to the pool for a little bit, and get back to the room, and then she just gets violently ill.
You say
Violently.
back to the room. You don't remember walking back to the hotel when it started.
Okay, well,
So
yeah. So she gets violently ill, and I'm like, okay. So
it started,
this
but then it
isn't
got
good.
really bad at the hotel.
It gets really bad at the hotel. Get her into, you know, settled into bed, trash can by the bed, the whole 9 yards. About 90 minutes later, it hits me. And then it is just for the rest of the night. us taking turns being sick. So to this day, we have not eaten at that very popular Chinese
That we
restaurant,
won't say.
corporate Chinese
We're not
restaurant.
gonna say.
As a result, I have never, or since that time, I have not eaten a chicken lettuce wrap of any kind from any place, anywhere.
Why would you?
And that is, we actually have photos of us in all of the major Los Angeles landmarks, and it's like
And listen, you didn't even tell them about how I twisted my ankle during the race.
I didn't. So on top of that, yeah. So she finishes. She
'Cause
finishes
I'm-
the race because she's sick, but then she also was magnetically
Mile
attracted
3.
at mile 3 to the train tracks cutting through the park. Rolls her ankle, and then this is the first time she's done that in a race. She's now done this twice since we started the show.
Yes.
Um, so I mean, it was a soup sandwich. The whole
It was
thing. But
terrible. It's
she
terrible.
rocked the
Terrible.
race. I mean, she did the whole thing. It was brutal. I mean, we absolutely earned that medal. It's one of those. It's not the manliest medal for a guy to display, but when I finish putting that up, it's going on the wall because by golly, I earned it. But we have all the
I know.
photos of us at like the Hollywood sign, at the Chinese theater, at the observatory, and
we look miserable.
You can tell that I can neither confirm nor deny, Josh.
We look miserable.
Yeah, but it's like we have "I'm fine" stretched very tightly across our faces. Like you could tell, like these two look miserable.
I mean, we can laugh about it right now, but it was so bad.
It was awful. I'm surprised, honestly. I mean, the only saving grace was we really did enjoy the races out there.
Oh yeah.
The character of the races is different than the races here in Florida. And we did some great exploring into we went into Koreatown, we went into some of the areas just outside of Anaheim, some of the beach towns. So we found some amazing places.
True enough.
So we were able to go back for the next race, which I believe was the Star Wars race that we did.
Yeah.
And then actually get to go and enjoy and actually do that and not be miserable. But for that night and that heading into the next day, we were miserable.
Oh my goodness. It was, I feel like I don't even.
Well, it's okay, Sebastian. It's funny you say that because we were actually debating doing that because we weren't sure we were going to be able to make a cross country flight in the condition we were in. It was bad.
I think that he means.
Oh, I know
get
what
your own room.
Yeah, get your own room. But I mean, we were seriously like, we might need to push our flight. It was awful.
True. Now, what did she say? What is
hashtag
that?
wink Ackles Amy. Well, okay. This time she found the train tracks that cross in the park, and then in Atlanta a few years ago, she reached down to get something out of her running belt.
That was my fault.
And wasn't watching where she stepped and found.
It was my fault.
Yeah, and actually found one of the potholes in Midtown Atlanta.
Yep, it was my fault.
Yeah,
but the train tracks were not. I didn't. They were not well marked.
Yeah, come to California, leave 15 pounds lighter. You're not wrong. That's about right. It almost did, Josh. Almost became a competition. I mean, number one, the folks at the race were like, "Hey, do you need medical?" She's like, "No," and she powered
came out
through.
Here
and she wasn't going to stop.
This is my
they were gonna
coast to coast medal. Get out of my way.
Yeah, she was going to power through, come hell or high water, which was great. But yeah, that I to this day, if like when I get food poisoned at a place, I am hard to get back there.
Yeah,
I really am.
Same.
So
I mean, but we powered through. We have some pictures that tell the story and don't tell the story at the same time.
The pictures are great. It's kind of funny. And what's really unfortunate is that like we did get to see some really iconic spots. We actually
Mhm.
forced ourselves to go to a couple of places that were featured on Food Network,
Yep.
and I'm like, I've just thrown up everything in the last 24 hours, but I'm going to make myself eat this. I believe it was a
It
corned
was
beef
so
sandwich.
bad. Yeah.
Like I'm going to make this happen.
It was bad. It's
It
bad.
was
It's
terrible.
okay. It's okay.
So anyway, that's and as much as we try to edit for you guys, you know, we have all of the foibles and the screw ups and the things that can go wrong when we're traveling that you guys do, and we don't try to you know, we try to keep all that out, but you know it does happen every now and then.
Mhm.
We are lucky though. The hotels that we found where we like to stay up there are very accommodating. We did get amazing service.
We did.
We got some
Oh,
room service to bring us some, you know,
ice for
bread,
my
ice,
ankle and like
yeah,
soda.
and they were very sweet to us as far as that went. But
Yes.
ooh,
Yes.
man,
So we we can look forward to better days, better meals, and just in general better experiences now that we have overcome that.
well, we have stronger immune systems if nothing else.
Yes.
Oh man.
So that's all
Oh,
I'm gonna say about
I'll, well, Josh and I appreciate that. I'll tell you, we were 100% genuine. We were 100% not safe for work because, oh
no,
man,
we were not.
that this definitely predates us recording the show,
Yeah, really. You don't
but
want to hear any of that.
oh my goodness.
Mm-mm.
But this is,
Mm-mm.
I can at least say with all honesty that since that time, we've never had a bad experience. When we traveled out there,
It's true.
we stayed in Anaheim, but we went to all the surrounding towns. We were in Manhattan Beach, all the beach towns, and
Yep.
that Seal Beach.
Mhm.
We, what is it, Garden Grove, which is right
Yes.
next door.
Yes.
And we were hitting restaurants and places, little mom and pops that were there.
Incredible.
What a cool food scene! And I'm eager to get back out there, if not
Me
for
too.
a Disney race, since I don't think that they're
Give me a
ever gonna.
5K out there. I don't care.
Well, I don't know that they're ever going to reconcile. I know Disney was having some like a basically the world's largest pissing contest with
Oh God.
municipal
Here we go.
government there.
Yeah.
But if we could find a race out in that area, I would like to get out there because I'm hopeful that a lot of those restaurants were able to weather the storm of the pandemic and still be
Me
there.
too. Me too. Yeah.
You know,
100%.
because the mom and pops are great, and we love finding those kind of places, which is just
Yeah.
a ton of fun.
For sure.
And yeah, I'd fly out there for a 5K.
Yeah. I mean, we have gone to Kentucky for a 5K. So
We have gone to Kentucky for a 5K.
and I don't think it's about the distance, the actual distance. I think it's about the experience.
No. That was 100% about the experience and the charity. I mean, that was for the Navy SEALs Foundation, supporting the families of our men and women in the Naval Special Warfare
Mhm.
Group, and
Yes.
you know they are just badasses, and their families that support them and enable them to go and do that stuff. Oh,
Yep.
and they were shocked at the fact that we came for a 5K. They were like, "Really? You came all the way here from Florida?"
Yeah. Oh, Sebastian, I'm sorry.
Oh, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. But we're on to better days.
Yes,
We're on to better days.
we are indeed.
Yes.
So, would you get this again? Do you like this one?
I want Scotty's more, to
Okay.
be 100% honest.
Okay.
I want Scotty's more. Um, it's good,
It is good.
but if I'm in Orlando and I have a choice between going to Crooked Can and having this in terms of just the beverages, I'm gonna
Just
go.
the beverages.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
go to Crooked Can.
Okay.
I think.
Fair enough.
You?
Actually, I would agree.
I mean,
Um,
their menu sounds amazing.
I think
I want to try other beers.
I want Crooked
naturally.
Can beer and I want Polite Pigs barbecue.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
So-
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So we're partial to Crooked Can. They actually do They are the ones that do the custom beers for one of our favorite restaurants up there in the Orlando area. It happens to be at Disney Springs. It's Raglan Road.
Mhm.
So if you're in the mood for Irish food,
Yeah,
oh, they're amazing. But
they
they
are.
do an Irish red called Tree Wishes, which
Oh,
is just it's do not pass go. Do
so,
not collect $200. Go straight
so
there. Get that
good.
if you're a fan of beer and you're wanting to have a beverage with your meal, or you're unfortunately, because all dining there right now is still reservation based. If you get there early,
As
they
far as
have the
I
beer
know.
cart
Yeah.
set up. You can grab one, hang out, listen to the music.
I think that's fortunate
What's that?
having the beer at the beer cart while you wait.
Well, I mean, what's unfortunate is everything's on
Oh, yeah,
reservation right
sure.
now. That's all.
Yes. So, but there are off property options and on property options that are great in Orlando. So,
Yeah, and we are. I think that we're going to get back up to Orlando for some stuff. We are going to feature some things that are not Disney specific. I know that not everybody is. We're not a Disney podcast. You guys know that. We do feature some Disney stuff
mhm,
because it is such a destination for so many people.
yes,
But Orlando, I mean, as a metropolitan area, has so much to
there's a lot of
offer.
great stuff. We haven't even talked about or featured Tutu Tango on the show, and we need
No,
to. We need to.
and that's one of those
So,
favorites of mine
100%.
that people can get in several cities because it is a chain, but it's a
But it's so
small.
good.
Well, it's a small chain. They localize a lot of things in the individual restaurants, and then they have a few things that carry over regardless of where you go.
Yeah. So
And
I
it's
would
a
say,
neat concept of a place.
yeah, I would say there are a lot of places that we could explore
Oh yeah.
out there, but Tutu Tango is one that I definitely want to talk about on the show.
So we're
So
going to be doing some stuff. We've got
looking forward. I'm
yeah.
looking forward.
We are now like seriously both of us trying to get all of the Stephanie's got an idea, and this isn't a bad one. I do think okay, if we're going to do
Ooh.
this, and I actually really like this idea because
Yeah.
we haven't been to Universal in probably 10 years, if not 15.
It's been a while.
The last time I set foot in Universal, not counting City Walk, but the actual park itself,
Yeah.
I went for a work thing,
I think
and I was by
I went
myself.
also for a work thing. I
Yeah.
think I was chaperoning a school trip.
Yeah, and you were by yourself.
Yeah.
That was without me. Yeah. So it's been a long time.
Yeah. That was
I
rough.
like that idea. I know that we've been teasing and kind of talking about doing some snack food, like a snack food thing one night for like, movie night
Yeah.
and doing something like that. And maybe the movie we'll do is maybe we'll do Harry Potter because we had talked about it on the last chat over on Instagram. Neither of us have seen any of the Harry Potter movies. And the Harry Potter book started coming out when I was in college, and I had kind of given up on doing
Yeah.
recreational reading because I was reading so much for my degree.
Me
and
too.
I just said, I don't have time for this anymore, which really sucked because I was a huge reader as in high school. Uh, you know,
Yes.
does Universal do races? They
think-
just started.
Yeah, at the beginning of 2020, I think they had one, and I don't know the status now, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be doing anything currently.
Mhm.
I agree. And again, our
Yes,
family's trying to
yes.
get us to because they
Our
are huge
niece
Harry Potter fans.
loves yes.
She's got her own magic wand.
Mhm. Yep.
Everybody who's gone says that the amount of they don't call it Imagineering there. I don't know if they have a fancy word for it, but the amount of attention to detail to creating the
artistry,
Harry Potter world,
design work,
they say is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
creating that whole world.
And again, I know that I would dig the Harry Potter thing. I totally
Yeah.
would. So I'm going to probably, in this case, I'll probably start with the movie so that I can enjoy them. Cause I know that if I read the books, I'm going to be pissed because if I
Okay.
read the books and then
Okay.
I watch the movies and be like, that movie sucked. They cut all this stuff out. I just know that's how I am. I cannot do the book first and then the
I
movie.
remember Jaws being a thing when we went to
Oh yeah.
Universal. That's what I remember.
Sebastian say, have you tried Duff beer in Simpsons Land? I no. We haven't, and I think that would be kind of cool. I love The Simpsons, longest running TV show on television, broadcast TV. I
We
would
gotta
be
try it.
I would be willing to give that a shot. And Rob's saying last time Jaws was a hit thing,
Yeah, for
they've
us too.
just recently decommissioned Jaws, I believe. I believe it's now officially done. Um, how many books for Harry Potter? A lot. And
Many. I
here's the
don't know
thing.
the total.
They're all like this big too. That was the other thing. I'm like, good God, this is a commitment. It's like 500 pages per or 300 pages
talent,
per book.
commitment, skill,
Yeah.
discipline.
I mean, there a lot of reading. What I love about it though is you've got so many young adult readers reading those books. Big vocabularies, complex storylines,
Yeah.
lots of characters. And I mean, that is good stuff for young adult readers, as far as that goes.
Yeah. Do you see Rondalee's comment about making her sister's wedding bouquet out of Harry Potter books?
Oh, that would be cool. I want to see a
Aw,
picture of
that's
that when you're
big.
done, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is really cool.
Oh, Rondalee for the win. 7 books, 8 movies.
7 books, 8 movies. Once you read the books and watch the movies, it's a great and thrilling experience. I love the amount of detail they put into it. Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's just as good as any area of Disney as far as the attention to detail. And I think that there's something to be said for that Universal being there and kind of getting a chance to learn from Disney.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, Disney is they're the king when it comes to the Imagineering and the attention to detail in lands.
That's where it started.
But you've got to at least be on their level if you're wanting to compete. And they apparently are.
Yes. So.
And Rhonda says the Duff beer is so good. Okay, is it a real beer? Or is it like the butter beer thing that's like a cream soda?
Let us know.
Yeah, 7 books, 8 movies. Wow.
And the first book isn't very long, she says. So
I'm going to start with the movies. Like I said, I want to be able to enjoy the movies. Otherwise, I will just be super pissed. I just know me. They cut a lot out, but most Harry Potter fans love the movies. Okay. I said, I'm open to it. Sword and sorcery stuff and science fiction was absolutely my bread and butter growing up as a kid. And to this day, I mean, Amy tolerates a lot of my sci-fi crap that she, might not immediately be attracted to or initially be attracted to. Ethan.
Welcome.
All is well. We're hanging out with friends.
Hope
we're
you're doing well.
Killing some time. We're talking Harry Potter right now. Yeah. And the fact that neither of us have read any of the books or seen any of the movies.
Nope.
How we've missed that cultural touchstone is beyond me.
We were in college and we had we read a lot for that.
We have a bookstore and never gets any Harry Potter books in. You mean like unused? Well, I get it. I mean, a lot of people keep the sets. I totally understand that.
Yeah. So.
First trip to Universal, initially disappointed, then walked into Harry Potter Land and it took my breath away. See, everybody says that.
Yeah.
The photos that we've seen from friends going there look incredible. Everything about it is something I know I would like.
I know.
Especially
I know.
The fact that you could do the magic wand and activate things in the land and get like fountains to do stuff and statues to move. I mean, that I love Easter eggish type stuff.
I know.
And she says Duff beer is a real beer. Yeah, I'd be down for that. And this is why I'm very excited. I'm excited at the prospect of what they might do for the immersive Star Wars experience that they're talking about opening at Disney. This is also the reason I am super disappointed in Galaxy's Edge at Star Wars currently, because it's a big space, doesn't have a lot in it, and everything there is designed to extract money from you. So it just, I think that you miss some experience. So, I love the fact that the Harry Potter land is as densely packed with experience as it is with stuff that you can buy.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and see, this is it. The competition between the two means that you win out. Now, one thing that they seem to have no problem doing, and friends of ours have gone, where Disney goes family friendly and softer on Halloween. Universal leans hardcore into it there because
Yeah.
Universal has the history of the movie monsters.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, they also did the partnership with or are part owners of AMC. So
Oh.
they were doing the Walking Dead
Yeah.
stuff, but they would do the Halloween thing way different than the Disney Halloween experience because they do the Mickey's Not So Scary.
Which we've never been to.
And see, Ethan's like, wow. I know. We're like,
I know.
we've lived under a rock for
Yes,
20 years.
it's true. We're okay. We're gonna be okay.
I know we're gonna get there. And now that everything's on streaming, which is great, I mean, we can catch up.
Catch up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie,
Hey, Katie.
how are you?
Yeah, but see, everybody says that there's more to do and see in Harry Potter than there is at Galaxy's Edge. And I know it's fighting words for some of the Star Wars fans.
Uh,
I don't think that you get more Star Wars fansy than me, but
I know, but you even say that Slinky Dog and the
I
whole Toy Story Land
I
is much more immersive
100%.
than.
I as much as I love it, I would rather go do Slinky Dog. And that's kind of why I'm hoping that they will retheme some stuff over there and give us the analog uh for the Avengers Academy
Mhm.
here in the Orlando on the in the Disney World side of things.
Yeah.
And Sebastian, I think Sebastian's going to be a Team Dana on this one. There's no real immersion in Galaxy's Edge. Thank you.
Mhm.
See, I think it's gorgeous. I think that they could.
And
There's a lot they
if
could do with it.
and if you get into, the app and the language translation and things like that, then maybe, but uh,
And it was a whole controversy. I mean, we were that was a big thing on self-respecting men who love Disney.
yes.
I
Yes.
got to do over there on the Mouse Ears and Magic podcast. I enjoyed it, but I am definitely a uh, just I have my issues with the way that they executed Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think you want it to be set back in the original,
I would even, like I said, I would even
right?
be okay if they were to do it. Forget the original. Don't even do the original. They could even do it. I would have been fine if they would have done it in the Jedi Fallen Order
Okay.
storyline. If from the video game, I would have
Mhm.
been great if they would have done it in Star Wars Rebels.
Mhm.
I think they'd have had more characters to draw from that were more interesting and people liked more,
Mm,
less controversial. And yeah, I don't know. I'm different. uh yeah. And if you're a fan of the older movies, check out the audiobook called The Kid Stays in the Picture. Interesting. Okay.
okay, we will.
I am definitely a fan of the older
Yeah.
movies. And what do we got here? Oh yeah, Galaxy is like the rest of Disney. You pay to play. Not all. It's actually. I think it's worse. I like other areas of Disney a lot more. A lot more. I mean, we're Disney fans.
Mhm.
We are,
Mhm.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
But you know,
We
I
I
have been watching the vintage stars that came out on Disney Plus. Does that make me vintage? Given that Star Wars was the original Star Wars Episode 4 was the first movie I ever saw as a human breathing on planet Earth, that makes me vintage. Thanks, Katie.
I'm vintage. Don't worry, Katie. We're vintage is great.
I'll take vintage.
Is positive.
That could be worse.
Very positive.
Oh, so yeah, Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story areas felt rushed and hurried. If they continue to develop through, it will be okay. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that in 3 years, Galaxy's Edge is going to be where it needs to be. I wish they had more space in
Yeah.
the Toy Story land.
Mhm.
I love what they've done with Toy Story, and that area at night is a totally different experience than it is in the
That
daytime.
is true. That's totally true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, Sebastian and I are on the same page. Rebels and Fallen Order. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And The Mandalorian. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And Josh is like, I'll be vintage. Yeah, exactly. Vintage is good. I like that.
Yeah. It's positive.
And then what we got here? The guy who was the actor for Luke Skywalker grew up in my neighborhood. What? Oh, the best I can do is I went to the same high school as Hulk Hogan. And I mean, that's not bad. Don't get me wrong.
I don't have
I was
that
an
at
80s
all.
wrestling.
I have nothing like that at all.
Yeah. So Mark Hamill went to your high
Holy
school.
cow. No.
Or grew up in your neighborhood. Sorry. That is great. Oh, Katie hasn't seen Galaxy's Edge or Toy Story Land. Honestly, I think that take everything we're saying with a grain of salt. We don't want to influence you.
Yeah.
I just think that when you get in there, we've raved about the fact that we love the Imagineering they did with Toy Story Land and with the specifically Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yes.
Yeah, and Josh is like, Mark Hamill will be the best Joker. 100%. Love him. If you haven't seen it,
yes.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm, the best Batman movie made to date, and it's animated. So anyway, we are actually over our, gosh, we're way over. Guys, thanks for hanging out as long as you did. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize it was 9:30 our time. So you guys are amazing. Thank you for hanging.
Wow.
We do have the new episode up. If you didn't listen to it yet, please do. It is on the feed. It's on runeatdrink.net. So you can just listen right there, but we would love for you to subscribe. That is the way you don't miss any of the shows. We do have a great interview with our friends from Metal Chasers.
We do.
Many of those medals up there are Metal Chasers medals. They are doing a new Marvel series that is going to be super cool. It's anti-heroes, not quite villains, not quite heroes. Hence the name of the episode. Yes. And they have a discount code that saves you 15% off of any race or series.
Any purchase on the site. From now to the end of May.
So check out the episode, get the discount code. We don't get any kickback from that, by the way. They just did that out of the kindness of their hearts. They were super cool to us. We love them. And we're going to be doing that series of 5Ks for those medals because the medals are killer. Their medals rival any of the Disney medals. Just
Even
saying.
if I have to walk them all.
So, well, Josh, thank you. This is so kind of him. And Rhonda, thank you. We're just glad you'd hang out for a little while. We know now we know you're an hour ahead of us, so it's even later where you're at. And and we we don't have an agenda coming in here. This is just literally us just hanging out, drinking beer and chatting with you guys.
Yeah, we really don't. I mean, the episodes are organized and
we do for the episodes we have a format.
We have a format: running, eating, drinking. Yes. So, but for this, we just want to hang out and talk because it's just our community, and we want to make sure everybody is, has a place to go if you want to unplug from the world for a while. And
I don't need much of an excuse to turn off the news anymore. So that's what
we thank y'all.
It's the least that we can do, and we always like to do the least we can do.
Really?
Something like that.
No.
So anyway. We are going to call it now. It's 9:28 Eastern time, 10:28 in Nova Scotia, Atlantic time.
Cheers, Rhonda.
Rhonda, thank you for hanging out with us.
I hope we get to see you sometime soon.
And Josh, thank you. Katie, thank you for sticking with
Sebastian
us. We're missing out on everybody, but
James and everybody who Jennifer Hall was here. Everybody who has been here. I think Dan Rams dropped in. Everybody. Ethan was here. Stephanie Swan was here. Darlene was here.
You all rock.
Everybody. Even if I don't even.
Darlene's still here.
I can't even.
Yay.
Everybody. We can't thank you enough. We've needed this week. And
Amy's talked about it a little
Yeah.
bit. We had a death in the family, and we've been helping other family with some stuff
Yeah.
during the week. And thank you for your patience with us getting the episode out a little bit late, but this has been phenomenal to be able to do with you guys.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for giving us your time. So you guys are awesome, and thank you. So anyway, we're gonna go
We
and
love
we're gonna
y'all.
see you guys. Well, we're doing some running this weekend. That's coming
So I'll be
of
walking.
some
You'll be
sort.
running.
Um, there may be some more coffee chats. Well, there's definitely gonna be more coffee chats. You coffee chat every weekday.
Well, yeah, but I need to get you in there some weekend
Weekend,
days and
I'll do a weekend coffee chat.
yes.
So thank you guys. That's really sweet. And I wasn't saying it for that, but just to let you know what was going on. I mean, it's involved a lot of travel with family out of town and stuff. So I really appreciate it. And it's been a rough week, but knowing that I got her and then we got you guys here, it's just made everything a lot easier. So thank you for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out, and check out this week's episode. And we
Yeah.
will talk to you guys soon.
Take care. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Thank you all for everything. Mwah.
Happy National Beer